Right guys, welcome back to another Sunday morning show. Good morning, Lester.
Good morning, Dan.
Well, what a week we've had. First course vlog back. How did it feel for you?
It was good, wasn't it? I think it was liked on the channel, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was good. It was one of our first course vlogs we've done.
Yeah.
Solely, is that word?
Solely?
Solely,
new word.
Yeah, made the word up. There
Fluffiness.
you go.
Fluffiness was your other one, wasn't it?
Yeah, so it's our first one, isn't it, on the channel as such. But yeah, it was good. I mean, that was our first effort at it. So
yeah, it was.
we'll get better, won't we?
Slow start.
Yeah.
Like I honestly thought we were going to lose the audience in the first 6 holes, so part 1 and part 2. Yeah. And then obviously we got the go time one, and then we got the birdie time, and then we got eagle. I mean, that shot you hit down that par 5.
Nice.
Such a good shot.
And then you took advantage of it by rolling the putt in.
Well, you know, all nice, isn't it? All nice. But no, it was just a fun to be out, and obviously we'd like to get some comments as well from you guys as to how you felt that show went, or that vlog went. Do you want to see more of those type of scramble events? I've got some ideas of what we can do moving forward, but we'd like to hear obviously you guys as well. Right, questions then.
I want to know a little bit more about your famous golf bag.
Well, I brought it out. I brought it out today because there has been a lot of people asking me about this bag, certainly on that last vlog. I've had so many questions from people talking about that there's not many golf bags out there now that have a single strap, something you can kind of throw over your shoulder. But
it is something special, isn't it?
Yeah, well, this bag is my special edition bag that I got. Now, luckily I was invited to go over to America probably 1.5 years, 2 years ago now.
Yeah. 2018, wasn't it?
Yeah, through the pro shop here at Torquay, because we did quite well one year in the amount of fittings that we did. So Titleist invited me over there for a partnership program show. Basically 2 or 3 days we were over in the States, and we went through the ball plant and lots of things on what Titleist do. And part of it was that they gave each of the people that went on this trip a golf bag, and this particular one is a country club members bag. It's a leather bag, so it's like a special edition bag. It's got my name on it, it's got the Torquay logo on it, so it's pretty special, and I wasn't going to get it out to use.
It's even got your initials on
the little touches, isn't it? Little touches up there, the little initials there. But so it's not, unfortunately, it's not for sale. Like, I can't get this bag to sell to people because a lot of people have asked me about it. Some of the more exclusive golf clubs that you go to around the country, and certainly in America, so if you're watching this from America, you might find some of the more exclusive country clubs over there may sell this bag, but I think it's logo only, so you would have it with the club logo on it. Right, I've got a question that's come in from last week, so last week's Sunday show. It's a question from Baz, and Baz put down, is there any need to use golf gloves, basically? He personally doesn't use a golf club. Why do we wear a golf glove? And I mean, what's your take on it?
I didn't wear one until I was about 17 or 18.
Okay.
When I did wear one, it was a hand-me-down from a dad or from somebody who didn't want the glove anymore. Yeah. Mainly for cost. I was obviously on a limited budget working-wise, playing a lot of golf. I could go through a decent leather glove. Yeah. Probably in less than a week. Yeah. And at sort of 14, 15 pounds, when I was only earning 100 quid a week, it was too much. It was too much of an expense.
So you didn't wear one purely because of
on
expense?
Completely on cost.
Yeah. I've worn a glove forever, and it was more that I wore a glove when I practiced. So when I was hitting lots and lots of golf balls, because I used to get lots of calluses in certainly my left hand, a glove just saved my hands a lot. And then obviously you just get used to wearing it. So for me, I feel a lot more control hitting full shots using a glove. So I will use a glove right the way up until I'm pitching. I don't use it when I'm chipping, and I don't use it when I'm putting, only because I just feel like I've got maybe a fraction more feel when I'm chipping and putting, that I don't necessarily need the glove to be worn for that. So I only wore it purely because of practice, and then after that it's a comfort thing, and I feel more comfortable wearing it. Right, here's another one, and I think we should try and do this one. Could you go through some various grips you both use, also the alternative grips that are available basically for golfers to use? So should we share with them some of the grips that we use when we play golf? So what is the grip that you use? You use interlock or overlap or anything,
so
do you?
For all my longer shots,
yeah,
I will use a 10 finger.
Right.
Baseball grip.
Baseball grip. Okay. 10 finger grip. Yeah, and you've used that grip for a long time.
I started that. I mean, at one time when I first started, I had a noticeable gap.
Did you?
So my hands were almost in that position. You could see my left thumb.
Yeah.
So I was in that position. But I have over the years, I've really closed it up and almost
knitted it together.
Yeah, I mean my right little finger is against my forefinger there, so it's really pushing against it.
Yeah.
My hand position's slightly wrong as well.
Wrong?
So, well, I mean, it's...
Gets you round, doesn't it?
I'm sort of right down the shaft here, down the golf pride with my left hand.
What does that mean? So you're... So you feel like you're a bit weaker.
I'm weaker, aren't I? I'm not in that position, so I'm quite weak in that position.
Yeah.
And my right hand, I guess, is slightly weak as well.
Top. Yeah.
It should be slightly more, shouldn't it?
Okay.
So I'm slightly weak there as well, I guess.
Yeah, but it's how you
I
manage the club, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, there's no right or wrong here with the grip, as long as you get it round the golf course.
I mean, with that particular grip, you know, Roland Rafferty was European #1.
Yeah.
Won the Order of Merit. And also John Daly used it, didn't he? Won a couple of majors.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's my grip for longer shots.
Okay, what about when you're chipping?
Okay, chipping, I've actually gone back to the 10 finger grip, so I'm in there.
Yeah.
But I also do vary it by
you get obviously
10 fingers,
hand.
but left hand below right.
Yeah.
So in that position as well.
Okay, so which we've seen on the shows before. Yeah.
Sometimes I pitch and chip like that.
Okay. When do you start going into cross hand?
So cross hand will be pitching and chipping if I'm not pitching or chipping well.
Yeah.
I tend not to pitch very often. I don't leave myself pitches.
Yeah.
If I can help it, maybe 1 around, 2 around max.
Yeah.
I'd rather lay back, hit a full shot, or get it close enough that I can chip. Because I generally chip okay.
Yeah.
Pitching and longer chips, not so good.
Yeah.
So I try to avoid them. But
So what other grips do you use?
So obviously putting is different for me.
Yeah.
I generally tend to use the pencil grip.
So it's like a
pencil grip, yeah.
So when you say pencil grip, what does that mean? So your left hand just sits on there normally.
Left hand sits on there normally,
and then
the right hand
that's getting in.
Positioned in there.
Okay, so what is actually touching the grip there?
So the club's resting sort of on my knuckle.
Oh, on your thumb.
And my thumb knuckle in here, and I'm just literally
2 fingers sit on top there.
Yeah.
What do the other bottom 2 fingers do?
They're doing absolutely nothing.
They just sit quietly off there.
Yeah.
And you use that because you just feel a little bit more comfortable with it?
I do, yeah. I mean, I've gone experimenting going back to a more traditional putter grip,
which works okay on the putting green.
Okay on the putting green, but I just still feel on the course I tend to grip it tight when I'm under pressure.
Yeah.
Obviously, with your putter, you want it looser, don't you, to get a nicer stroke. Gripping it tight, all your muscles are shortening.
Tense up a bit.
Yeah, and I can be very much flicky or hit at it. So I try to do that just to take a little bit of, you know, a bit of pressure off the hand. There's not much touch in it, so I'm not going to be gripping it tight. But I'll always try something.
Yeah, see that?
So, yeah.
The tinkerer. Look at little Brooksy over there. Look. Yeah. Can you see him in the shadow?
Yeah.
He's happy, isn't he?
He won Employer of the Week, didn't he, one week?
He
worked so hard.
He did work very hard. So for me, I am interlock. Okay, so the same basically as what Jack Nicklaus used to use, or still uses probably, and Tiger Woods used this. So I get left hand on the grip. I'm a little bit more over than what you were, so I can always see 2 knuckles there. Always seeing those 2 knuckles. Yeah. Then that little finger, so my left index finger kind of sticks out, and then I bring my little finger of my right hand interlocks there, and then once I'm in that position, then I just roll the right hand over the top. Okay, so the interlocking grip is the one that I use for pretty much all my shots. Did
someone teach you that grip? Was that the grip that you just taught yourself that grip, or I mean?
Interestingly, I changed from the overlap.
Yeah.
So I used to grip it probably probably like you, where I tried to get as much of the left hand on the club as I could back as a kid. And then maybe because my hands were, I don't know, maybe because my hands were a little bit smaller back then, but I certainly used to be an overlap here. Yeah. And then when Tiger Woods came on the scene, I started gripping like Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
So if it was good enough for him, it was going to be good enough for me. But for me, I think with small hands now, definitely the interlock works really, really well for me. Now I take that grip right the way from driver down the way to all the way down to pitching. So I'm basically pitching with this. Okay, if I have got like a flop shot where I've got to go up and over something, I'm using it again. Okay, so I'll open the club face up and I'll just feel like I've got all the control to be able to release the club underneath me a little bit more. Now, when I move into chipping, I tend to go to what I call my sort of conventional putting grip. Okay, so what I do is I grip the club down the shaft, but I'm a lot weaker in the left hand. So as I put the club on, where I'd normally see 2 knuckles, I bring the hand round and I can only just see that 1 knuckle there. The left index finger sticks out, but now instead of me interlocking, I let that sit. So my right hand comes in here, and then this index finger just sits down the 3 fingers of my right hand, and then this just then wraps over the top. So this is what I would call my sort of conventional putting grip. Okay,
and then different, isn't it?
Yeah, so I'm chipping in this way because I'm trying to get my chipping to feel more like putting for me. So I feel like chipping for me is like a lofted putt.
So you're eliminating the wrists, breaking the wrist?
Probably. I feel like I've got the club more upright.
Okay.
And then it can kind of run up through into my left arm.
And that would be the reason that you don't use that grip for pitching, is because
I want more hinge and release.
Yeah, okay.
I don't feel like I've got any control of being able to do that. So I've got it more up the palm and then up through the left arm. So that's why it really weakens off.
And you've done that the whole of your playing career?
Probably, yeah. Certainly not as a kid. I definitely think as a kid I was more kind of this action. But as I've got older and I've got a bit wiser with my chipping, I suppose, I've just tried to get it as simple as I possibly can. I
think we're all like that though. We were very wristy when we were younger because we were trying to generate, we thought we could generate spin and check, and by actually, you know, creating a bit of wrist hinge, almost flicking at the ball.
Yeah.
But it does, as we now know, it's not true.
It's harder to manage. That's the thing with it. It's really hard to manage. So having that, simplifying it for me, that just works really well for me.
So it makes total sense.
Yeah. And then the last one is my putting grip. So I am now, I'm cross-handed on putting, and I have experimented with lots of different putting grips. I've never gone to the claw. I've never done what you're doing, or pencil, or whatever you call it. But I am a reverse putting grip, and I am that because, like you, I did suffer with the yips with putting, and I suffered more when I went to America because the greens got a lot quicker, and it all just got a bit, you know, more pressure, that sort of stuff.
I do like that left hand below right for you, because you then keep your left hand or left palm
facing
target.
Yeah, because I'm left-handed.
Yeah.
On everything other than golf, and like I play tennis left-handed, I'm right-handed and things like that, but majority of my sport is like pool and snooker. I'd play left-handed, play the guitar left-handed, that sort of thing, you know. But so I feel like I've got a lot of
Was that the guitar, was it?
Ding ding ding. So I feel like I've got more control with using the left arm. So what happens here is, what I feel is that my right hand goes on the grip, okay, and then it's like a reverse overlap here. It's again, I don't, there's no name for this, but when my left hand comes on, this finger here sits on top of the right hand. Okay. You see that?
Yeah.
And it kind of just sits in between there, and then from there I wrap that left hand on top. So what I've got all the pressure between these 2 fingers here.
Yeah.
So these 3 fingers at the back here just sit, and then I feel like I'm almost like gripping the grip with these left 2 forefinger and thumb, and then from there the right hand just sits on, and then I keep my elbows nice and connected in to my body, and then I just feel like I'm rocking my shoulders from there. So I wouldn't say that there's an actual, probably a technical term of what that grip's called. It's just something that over time it's evolved, and it just feels the most comfortable for me.
Yeah, I would say that it's important that to make people aware that there's lots of different subtle changes that people have. So you'll have, you know, like you said, where your hand position was, people are using the same type of grip but just changing it subtly. So they might be adding a finger in a certain place, or a slight movement of position of the club where it lays in the palm, for example.
Absolutely.
So there's lots of ways. There's no, I wouldn't say there's any correct way of doing anything.
I would agree with that. I don't think there's any correct way, but I really like people to experiment. Yeah. Like, you've experimented over the years. There's nothing wrong with it. You're just trying to find, and I bet you're a player that has actually one round to another round you've had a slightly different pressure point or a slightly different feel, which actually gets you around the golf course that particular day. Yeah. Nothing wrong with that, is there?
100%.
So it's good, that, isn't it, with the grips and like there's so many different ways of being able to grip a golf club, and there's no right or wrong. I just think it's got find something that works for the individual. There's
a couple of guys up here who actually play full shots cat-handed.
Yeah, I've played against like proper golfers.
Alan Nichols is 6 handicap.
Yeah, I remember playing against this lad from Gwent in South Wales who I seemed to be drawn against him every time he played against Gwent as a county player, and he was always cross-handed. He played off like +1 or 2, and he was such a good golfer, so much feel and control, and so there's no right or wrong. It's just what feels right for the individual when it comes to grip, really. Right, it's the only part that's holding on to the club, so it's got to feel right. Yeah. What else we got then?
Well, I mean, generally you're like Father Christmas to me, so
Father Christmas?
Yeah, because like every day I feel like I get a new surprise. So, but I'm a little bit excited this week. So what are we up to? Like, normally you surprise me, we're going here or we're going to film this, and it's quite exciting not knowing what's going to happen every day. But I actually want to know if we're going anywhere this week.
Well, I've had some exciting phone calls. So things are in the world of the golf world are starting to move. Yeah. So I can't let that out of the bag yet, but there is hopefully some exciting stuff coming up. Cool. I've got some bits that I want to do on the golf course as well. I've got a little series that I'm putting together with Lee as well on the course, an amateur golfer, pro golfer thing. And then we've got Bovey Castle. Oh, me and you are going to be playing at Bovey Castle. And actually what I want to know from the people watching here is, when we go to Bovey Castle, what format should we play? How do you want it's going to be 2-ball, me and Lester? How do you want it? Do you want us to do another scramble? Do you want us to play a match against each other? How do you want to do it? Put your comments down below. We'd like to hear what you say about that. Right guys, thank you very much for watching. As always, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up if you like what we're doing, and stay safe, and we look forward to seeing you next Sunday. See you next Sunday.
See you next Sunday.